Back to the React Room. I'm your boy Dom K. Back in here solo dolo again today. We gotta do another video, ladies and gentlemen. I thought we uploaded our part 3 of Casual Chuck's documentary on SB19. This is called The Wave. Somehow it was deleted, encrypted, and it never got uploaded. So when I did part 4 recently, people were like, yo, all I see is part 1 and part 2 and part 4. Where's part 3? I said, well, I'm sorry. We're gonna get to it today. SB19, one of the best groups in the world. They're coming for the #1 spot. They just killed Akon 2025. You know what it is. They know what it is. What I love about SB19 is more than the music, is the story and the individual people within the story. Amazing artists, true to the craft, respect for the game, respect for the people that came before them, respect to the media, even though the media slights them at all times, respect to the haters, even though the haters talk crap about them every chance they get, and they still find a way to get it done, still find a way to persevere through and not let the cheaters and the non-believers and the naysayers affect what we do. You see, what we do as SB19 fan, we make hits. We make hits, and that's all we do. We make hits. We make hits and we perform. And I know the other people out there who don't do as much, they don't work as hard as we do. They don't, because the A10 is lit. And we do what we do. So like I said, man, you non-believers and the scammers, just keep over there, staying over there talking about what your groups are doing or not doing. But we're gonna rewatch this. It's called The Wave. We gotta get into it and learn something, because you guys never saw this reaction from me. So it's been a while. Let's get to it. SB19 Part 3 documentary, The Wave, because we are the wave. We surfing.
Would you believe me if I said that SB19 would be successful if I met them 3 years ago? You'd probably think I'm cheating because I'm talking from the present. And your past self would never believe me because I might have only seen them as a trying hard boy group who had to wear the same clothes over and over and over and over again because they couldn't afford a nice variety. But what if despite all this, they already knew what's gonna happen?
Itong mga to, sigurado ako in the future, magiging successful kami.
They knew their destiny. Pablo's username reads, I'm Seismite. A random fan asked, why? He answered, it also means seismic, like Earth's vibrations. It's something big and important, so when I seize the mic, I create this impact, like an earthquake. And when an earthquake happens, you know what's next after that? Are you sure you don't know? Do you actually want me to spell it out to you? Okay, let me show you.
Let me say something, man. Shout out to Casual Chuck. I have to say that, man. Shout out to Casual Chuck. That was probably one of the best intros I've ever seen when it comes to opening up a documentary or opening up some content. That is movie-like. Like, I don't even want to pause it on this part. I want to pause it right here where it's clear. So, like, when you get content, I react to a lot of things. And I'm just going to keep it honest with you. When you come with this type of stuff, you make it really, really easy for people to enjoy what you do. And I got to give Casual Chuck his props, because I like to give people their props and their flowers for doing certain things. Like, there's been no avid supporter of SB19 more than Casual Chuck. I've been following this page for about a year and a half now. I've been in his lives before, and he's always showing me love and follow me and supported content creators using his content to react to spread the SB19 word. And you got to give people their flowers, because I know all of the people in the Philippines know about him, but like, there's so many creators out there that like just use people content and never shout them out, never link the bio, never tell them. I'm telling you, man, if you're not following Casual Chuck and you're following me because of SB19, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't follow Casual Chuck page. That's Mr. SB19 News. Anything SB19 News that you hear from me that I'm talking, most likely I got it from Casual Chuck. And he knows what's going on. He's been on this for years. He created the best documentary 7-part series, 8-part series. Now you'll see anywhere on YouTube, anywhere else. This could damn near be a movie on Netflix, the way he's produced and written all of this stuff and got it out there. And the fact that he just lets us react to it just so we can spread SB19 and become fans, you have to give him his props for that. It's admirable and it's respectable, and I just had to show him some love right there. So let's get into SB19 Story, Episode 3, The Wave.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's Pablo. If you're new here, you're probably wondering how he ended up there. This is called Triple.
Get in the zone!
Finally, they were starting to go up. They were very young. This was the time when they were still trying to figure out their musical identity. Enter the Get in the Zone album. Just check out the level of variety.
Yeah, we gonna go up. Ibibigay ko ang aking puso. At kahit pa ang mundo ay mag-iba, huwag mong ituno-tuno o nariyan ang kaibigan mo. The only one I never say yes.
It was definitely a mix of everything.
That's the first time, like when I first heard about SB19, like I didn't hear about those songs. The first song from SB19 that I ever heard of, and this was crazy about this. The first song I ever heard was it Damn? Either it was Damn or Mappa. No, it was Damn. I heard Damn. No, it was Mappa. The first song I ever heard was Mappa. Mappa came like that one because it had an ice cream video to it. Yeah, it was like an ice cream. It was sponsored by like an ice cream shop. And then I heard a Damn, and then I heard a Time, and that was my timeline. I had never heard of those songs, and then someone told me they had older songs like those, and I went back and looked at them, and I was like, wow. And I remember that album he talking about because I went and checked it out, and I was like, yo, that was different. I was like, that was like that was the first time that I was like, yo, they sound like they've been everywhere. They like, it didn't have that distinct SB19 sound that I like now. That was more like they were trying to me, it sounded like they were trying to appease everybody. Like they wanted to show like, we can do everything. Because that was a mixed album like crazy. I was like, some of the stuff sounded like it was meant for Korea. Some of it sounded like it was meant for the Philippines. Some of it sounded like it was made for the world. Like, but it was a good album though. I can't complain about it, but I kind of sound like the SB19 now, where they kind of like create everything as far as, like, I think they created everything back then, but I just think that the labels had a say in which songs going out, and I don't really like that. I like when Pablo and the guys kind of control the situation.
The Bashers immediately saw this as a weakness. They were seen as a group who didn't know what they were doing. Despite all the hate, 18 didn't get affected as they started to get to know the boys on a deeper level. We got to know their fun side.
Si Ken naman po, nung na-meet ko to dati sa cover group, parang sabi ko, feeling ko mayabang to, parang gano'n po, mayabang to, tapos tumbling-tumbling ka pa dyan, gano'n, tumbling-tumbling pa to.
Uy, judgmental sister.
Parang lagi siyang may sariling mundo, hindi po siya belong sa amin.
Tinanong siya ng teacher namin, sa tingin mo sino pinakamagaling sumayaw? Ako! Sabi niya po.
Ako po, sinabi ko po talaga.
Ay, kung confident ka naman, bakit
Yes
hindi,
po,
di ba?
ang galing ko po talaga.
Exactly.
Si Justin po, una ko nakita to. Oh, pogi. Siguro mayabang to.
Si Justin naman po, nung una ko po siyang nakita, sabi ko, typical guy, parang gano'n.
Sorry, si Justin po, parang pure, parang innocente. Pero nung nalaman ko,
Ain't that crazy how when you meet someone for the first time and you don't really know them, you have all of these prejudges of them, and when you get to know someone on a deeper level, it's kind of like they're nothing like you thought they were. Like, you heard what he said? Like, he's like, oh, I thought he was arrogant. Or he's like, oh, I thought, oh, typical guy. He's into himself. He's super confident. He thinks he's the best. It's like, everybody has those, like, those stereotypes in their head of what a person is based on you knowing them for a few minutes. But the craziest part about that is like, when you get to know someone on a deeper level, you find out, like, damn, I shouldn't have thought like that. But, like, it's just fun to hear people talk about what they thought when they first met someone without, like, being scared to say the truth.
Oh my gosh!
si Stal, sobrang friendly po. Siya po yung happy pill namin.
Di ko alam na siya pala yung main vocal po kasi akala ko magaling na talaga siya sumayaw. First impression ko po kay Josh, mabait po siya na mayabang po nandun.
Ayun!
Tinatry niya lang maging maangas pero deep inside hindi talaga.
Softy pala, softy!
Kasi si Jun, akala ko po hindi siya yung leader.
Nung una, ang weird niya po, nagsasalita mag-isa, parang bigla na lang siya nagagano. Sa isang tabi po, nakatayo siya sa gilid. Tapos may training kami, tapos biglang gagano. Tapos biglang gagano siya. Gagano po siya sa gilid. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa na? Nagre-ritual ba ito sa gilid?
We also got to know their internal battles.
Thank you to all of our families, especially to our parents, and sa mama ko at sa kapatid ko. Thank you kasi lagi niyo po sinusuporta. Kahit sobrang hilig ko sa pagano sa buhay, hindi ako sigurado kung ano yung pinapasok ko. Pero nandiyan lang yan para sa akin. Thank you. Gusto ko mag-thank you sa apat nito.
People don't understand how when you taking a risk trying to join a group and you don't know if you're gonna make money, that's a lot of time that you're risking. And it can be very mentally frustrating. It could be physically frustrating. You're not gonna have money to like travel and have fun. A big part of your life is 15 to 17 hours a day training, 6-7 days a week. And a lot of people, parents will be like, yo, if this not a guaranteed thing, then, you know, if we're not getting a contract that's guaranteed, why are we doing this? And they probably won't support you trying to like chase your dreams in that aspect. But to have parents that'll like let you find your own way and still, again, it might not be financially, but it might be mentally and, you know, just supporting your dream, it can help a lot. So in that aspect, they didn't have much money, but they had their parents supporting them. And like, for them, that's invaluable because again, just think about it. You got guys almost getting kicked out of the group for no reason. The company is losing money. They're not trying to invest. Then it goes bankrupt. It's like a lot of stuff going on. You're gonna need your mental, you know, especially for your people.
Hindi ka lang magkahiwala ng grupo, pero bumalik sila kasi hindi nila maliwan. Yes! Parang naisip namin na mas maganda kami tuloy namin yung sila. Julie, si Justin, si Ken, si Josh, lahat ng showbiz dito. I love you so much. Since na napasalamatan na po na lahat, maraming pasalamat si Sir Robin for building this. Kung wala si Sir Robin, hindi kami mag-build. Walang showbiz, walang show na to, walang kayo dito. Parang, it's because of Sir Robin.
And just like that, SB19 got us into their zone. So back to the album. As unique as each of the songs was, all 7 of them managed to reach the #1 spot of Billboard's Lyric Fine Global chart. It's still insane thinking about it today. And they weren't done. They also appeared in Billboard's top Social 50, peaking at #3. Or so they thought.
And aside from that, eto, nagbabasa rin ako ng mga comments naman sa ating comment section. Kasi di ba yung last na pinost niyo is #3 kayo sa Billboard Social 50. Pero ngayon, #2 na kayo, guys! At Billboard Social 50, may mga nagko-comment dito. And #6 na kayo. #7, di ba, nung last na yung pinost. #6 na. Chief artist, congratulations! Di ba?
They couldn't believe it. Stel ended up forgetting that he was in a live interview because he had to check it himself. Yep, it's real. September 1st, 2020, a well-known artist canceled an Instagram live interview with MTV scheduled for the next day. So MTV host Kevin Kinney invited SB19 on a short notice to fill in. An opportunity knocked, they answered.
Oh my God. Wants to go first? For me, I like to collaborate with Mr. Bruno Mars.
2 weeks later, Kevin made a bold prediction.
We ask a lot of people for interview. A lot of people that you want us to interview, we take it very seriously, and we reach out. Some people, you'd be amazed, don't have the time of day, can't find the time, can't do it. Oh, that's tough. Okay, no harm, no foul. Then there's the people that are like, name the time, name the place with it. SB19 did that at 9 p.m.
He ain't lying, man. And I get it. Everybody don't want to be. Well, hold on. There's several things that fall into that. Let me say this. One, it's hard for you to get interviews if you stay crapping on the artist or the company. So, like, if I have a company, and I don't believe this is right, but like, if I have a company and you as an interviewer or you as a blog show or radio show is always crapping on my artist, of course, my artists that are really hot, I don't want them doing interviews with you because I might not like you. And that's the one thing about some of these stations. Like, I don't know is he with MTV or somebody? I don't know who he's with, but I know they have a lot of enemies. So it's like, I'm not saying that was the case. It's just like, yeah, you probably made the other artists like feel like, well, I don't feel safe doing the interview. Or I don't want to do the interview with you. So that's what happens sometimes. And then sometimes it's kind of like, some of the artists just feel like the more interviews I do and the more accessible I become when I'm not dropping the album, it's hurting my brand. So it's like everybody don't need an interview. And it's like some artists, they need the interview. That's why I feel like they should really just try to do up-and-coming artists who need the interviews. They're not going to say no. Like SB19 at that point wasn't going to say no. Like, you should try to do like more like the Filipino groups or the Korean groups that are coming up. Like, not just the official K-pop groups and stuff like that. Like, you should just try to do all artists who like up and coming. They're gonna answer the call, but when you try to get big time artists, it's like they're gonna give you the run around. I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, or man, you said something about me 2 years ago,
Never done an Instagram Live before. They didn't know if they could be together. They made it a point to not only be together at 9 p.m. because they knew that was the only time that it worked for this US-based host. That type of work ethic is going to take them very far in the music industry. I'm also very good at predicting music, okay? Right? I'm like the MTV push of hosts. The same way that MTV knows how to pick winners, I know how to pick winners. I said on this very after show, SB19 are going to be big stars. I said it on my IG Live. I've said it to you in private, Caitlin. I've said it to Banjo. You know, he didn't say anything back. SB19 are going to be big stars. They have it. Charismatic. They're hardworking. Today's date is September 18th, 2020, when I'm saying this, okay? I want somebody to post this on September 18th, 2021, and you can see how right I am because of how much larger and more well-known SB19 will be a year from this date right here.
And when 2021 started, he reminded people about what's to come.
4 years into my career, I've seen some people come and go, and I've seen some journeys, and you can spot things, right? You can notice trends, you can notice similarities. SB19 right now, and the lock that 18 has on the voting, week in and week out.
And that's another thing, like, these were doing the pandemic years. So, you know, like, it's a little different at this time. People in the crib, they're literally in their houses. So because people are in their houses, it makes it a lot easier to, how can I say this? It makes it a lot easier to get people to listen to your content and watch your content, because what's going on is people don't have anything to do. The A10 is going to do it regardless, but you, like at this time, this is to build your fan bases. So him making this prediction, it's easy to say like, oh, I knew they were going to be big stars. Well, of course, anybody can listen to their music and tell they're going to be big stars. But he was talking about like the voting. Like I could tell by the voting that, no, it has nothing to do with the voting. Yeah, the fans are going to do what they do because they like the music. It takes people outside of your fan base. Like if I go #1 on the Billboard charts, it's not because of my fan base only. It's because my fan base and other people, normal people who not a part of the fan base, like the song. So I think SB19, their problem was they just needed other people who not in their fandom to hear their song so they can join the fandom or like stream the stuff. And I think that's what happened. It wasn't really just the A10 by itself. It was, bro, people, if you listen to SB19 music, you're gonna like it. I'm guaranteeing you're gonna like it. It's good music. It's solid music. It's very well written. It has good beats. It has good dancing. So,
and seeing him rise up the Social 50 chart over at Billboard, it's very akin, it's very similar to what was going on with BTS 2017, 2018. Now, I hope SB19 can reach those heights. I'm rooting for them. These guys are awesome guys and hard-working guys. I've interviewed them after, like, incredibly 10-hour plus work days of rehearsal and choreography practice, and they still put a smile on their face, and they're incredibly hardworking. I think that's really the, aside from the music being good, it's the work ethic that's going to take them to the top. So my prediction is they're going to break out in a huge way this year. So take that for what it's worth, 18.
Then what happened? Kevin's prediction came true.
18 SB19. Congratulations.
This song was on the next level. It showcased Pablo's songwriting skills, Ken's dance moves and unique sound, Still's heavenly voice and choreography, the most iconic rap verse in all of Kpop by Josh,
that's crazy because I remember that rap verse on that song, and that rap verse was different. Like, I remember when I first heard this song, and I was like, man, this is different. I was just looking around, I was like, because I watched the lyric video to it, and I was like, because it was hard for me to understand what he was saying at first, and then I was like, I bowed my head, I'm like, man, this is different. But that was a very lyrical verse, and if you think about it, now that I think about it, outside Flo G, I don't think I've heard anyone in the Philippines rap like that. Man, I've heard a few rappers, but I'm not gonna lie, that was a crazy verse. That was a crazy verse. I gotta think about it because I listen to a lot of Flo G. I don't think I've ever heard like. I don't want to say that was the best verse I've ever heard from the Philippines, but it's definitely top 2, top 3. It's definitely. But yeah, it was very complicated.
And Justin's brilliant mind, which created a spectacle no one has ever seen in the country. It became the fastest P-pop music video to reach 1 million views in just 16 hours. SB19 sent shockwaves that reminded people of what they are capable of.
Meron akong natanaw na ko ang lang music video nga what na-encourage ko.
The world got inspired, so it responded with a giant wave of appreciation.
Gusto ko rin ipagmalaki yung SB19
SB19.
Yung last video nila, yung What?
Uy, maganda yun.
Ang ganda ng video, di ba?
You know what's crazy about that? It's crazy about it. Now I say that was the fastest P-pop video to ever get to 1 million in 16 hours. That's crazy. Even if it's people who never reach 1 million views. Don't get me wrong. It's always artists who do their thing, but 1 million views in 16 hours? Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different. That's almost like, it's like 60, 70,000 views an hour. Let's see, 70,000 times 12 was 80. Yeah, man, that shit different, man. SB19, listen, man. What these documentaries show me is they just put in the work. They put in the work that no one else willing to do. And they stand on what they believe in, and they're going to do it their way. And if they're going to continue to do it their way, they're going to keep winning their way. And that's just the way it is. It's just fun to win.
Grabe. I think doon mo rin naman makikita na hindi mo pwedeng pulaan ng isang tao na nag-prepare hanggang sa makakita siya ng opportunity para gamitin yung preparation na yun. Walang pinagkaiba yan kay Manny Pacquiao na nag-train sobrang galing, pagpasok niya ng ring, knockout yung kalaban. Walang difference. Lalo ko na-appreciate ang isang artist na alam kong pwedeng magyabang pero hindi nagyayabang.
This was also the time when I found them. Their music made a difference in my life. It gave people happiness. Their music inspired us to become a better version of ourselves despite our imperfections. SB19 taught us not to only raise our own flag, but to wave it proudly.
And that's the thing. You as an artist, I believe you as an artist, you have 3 jobs. Create the best music possible. Appreciate your fans. And give the music, listen to what I said. Create the best music possible. Appreciate the fans that you have and your supporters. And number 3, make sure that the music that you created, to the supporters that support you, you're leaving them with a message within that music. And the thing about SB19 is, when you talk to anybody, especially Filipinos, they feel like every song has a message. I feel like that too, but that's why I say these type of documentaries are so important. You need a visual to see what's going on. And I just truly believe that if you understand that everything they do is with a purpose, everything they do is to get a point across, everything they do is it's not for selfish reasons, it's for unselfish reasons. They want to express their thoughts and feelings in the music, and they want you to understand what they're thinking. They have a deep backstory. And that story is emotional, it's traumatizing, is mentally, It's just mentally, it takes a lot to even go there. That's why I appreciate Pablo so much. Because he writes all these songs, you have to mentally go there to write this stuff and to be honest and open and critical with yourself. So at the end of the day, man, SB19 is the wave. They're the wave for what's going on now. They're the wave for what's going on in the future. And we rock with them. We love SB19. So like I said, man, at the end of the day, it's like, you can hate, but where is it gonna get you? And that's what I never understood about the people who really just be against them. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, do you just not like the music or you don't like them? That's why I couldn't appreciate, like, even like one of those people up there like saying all of this stuff, and it's like, do you got mad because they didn't want to let you use the song? They charge and they have to make money. If they're their own company, they gotta make money off their songs. I have no problem reacting to SB19 music and not making a dime off of it. I have no idea, no problem, because it's not my content. It's their personal music. They should make all of the money from it, especially if they funded themselves on world tours and doing all this stuff because they own the companies. So at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, you can think all of the stuff they be thinking, but at the end of the day, I know what's up, man. So you guys tell me in the comments, man, what do you think about SB19 episode 3, The Wave? What do you think about Casual Chuck's documentary? Did he make a good point in all of this? Did he miss some things? What do you think about SB19 as the future of P-pop, the future of the Filipino music, or do you think you have someone else in mind? I like it. A lot of lessons into it, a lot of things going on, and Casual Chuck does a great job of breaking them down. So you guys tell me in the comments, what do you think about it, man? This is episode 3, SB19 Story, The Wave. Like, share, comment, subscribe for more SB19 content. Always with love. Peace.